Previously, on a Vinekin's revenge. Let's go. We need to move fast. Who knows what Thornmere is like now? We need to tell the mayor to surrender. I don't think Kevin will stop. Celine looks at Morgan and asks, "But what can we do? You're thinking the two of us can do all of this together?" Morgan responds, "Well, we do have Graf." Celine laughs. "I mean, look at him. He's an old man. No offense." Graf smiles. "None taken, but I once was a young man and dashing swordsman back in my day." Morgan smiles at Graf, trying to lighten the mood. "Okay, look. First thing we need to do is to get out of here, and then we will think of who we could ask for help. 'Cause you're right, we can't do this alone." As they are continuing through the tunnels, Graf was right. The vastness of the tunnels can definitely make someone go crazy. Morgan starts to think back to when she first was traveling through Evervale. She recalls the moment when her and Salo burnt down the wooden bridge. "That's it!" she exclaims to herself. She leads the party into the next room and points to a pool of water, explaining that following that trail of water could lead them to the river and out of the tunnels. They keep moving through, and she notices strange writing on the dirt walls and a drawing of a skull just below the text. Morgan feels her chest tighten. "Look, guys, we're in the bandits' lair. We need to be careful." The party continues following the trail of water, and Morgan starts to see light coming from the other side of the tunnel. However, as they get closer, two figures begin to form at the end of the tunnel. Celine says, Guys, it looks like we're about to run into a couple of bandits here." Hello adventurers, it is I, Soloist Adventure, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed that little snippet of part 11? And now we are going to be going into part 12. So in that snippet, you have heard that they are just about to encounter some bandits here as they are exiting the tunnel and they found their way out. There are two bandits here that are about to encounter this group of adventurers here, and Morgan is leading the way. And so as that is happening, it is early in the morning, and just kind of the night before, there was a violent protest going on between Kevin and the mayor. So Kevin's followers of the Wildborn Chapel, they are trying to take back the town of Thornmere and return Thornmere into the beauty of what Evervale used to be before the town kind of expanded. Of course, in response, the mayor doesn't like that, and so he is fighting back against Kevin and his followers. So there's kind of a violent protest going on in the town, but it is the morning, so we're not really sure what that looks like. We don't really know if that's still going on or if like Kevin has 100% kind of taken over. We don't really know. But what is happening here is Morgan wants to try to find some help to try to get the mayor to surrender, or else Thornmere is just gonna be destroyed. And so I think what Morgan here, she has this idea of maybe going into the school of magic. So there's this arcane school that she passed by when she was first traveling through Evervale. And so I think what she wants to do is she wants to try to ask for some help from some of the magic users here at the arcane school. Yeah, so we will see. We'll, let the dice decide kind of what is happening. But that is the scene right now. And it is early in the morning, but right now they are just about to encounter some bandits. I would say that they are a little far from where the bandits are right now. So I think I am actually going to ask the fate chart here, kind of what are these two bandits up to? Are they like scouting the area and they're kind of facing the other way, looking at the river, or are they like facing in, looking at the tunnel? Could they see them? So we're gonna see here, but knowing that these adventurers are starting to notice the figures in the distance, I think they're just gonna pause their steps here and kind of hold off and plan something out. So I'm going to ask the fate chart to see what the position is of the two bandits that are over there. So I'm just going to ask the fate chart a simple question here. Are the bandits facing the adventurers? So I think that's what I'm going to ask. So right now it is 50-50, because it could be they're just scouting the area and they're looking the other way, or are they actually looking towards the tunnel there? So we'll ask the fate chart. So are they looking towards the adventurers? And we got over here a 70. So that is a no. Okay, so they are not facing the adventurers. So that means they are facing the other way. So it is possible, very likely, that these adventurers might have an advantage here. I don't know if Morgan would want to do a sneak attack of some sort to get rid of the bandits, or maybe she would want to... I do have this idea of what if she could get the bandits to help kind of diffuse the situation in Thornmere here. That would be very hard though. I don't think she would be able to convince these bandits, because I feel like these bandits, just in general, they don't really care too much about, I guess, city politics. They kind of just want money, and knowing that Morgan is wanted, they probably would want to just target her instead, just as an individual, and turn her into her to her grandfather, you know. And so I think what she would want to do, since they are facing the other way, I know she does have a sword. I don't think she has a dagger. I'm not seeing a dagger here, but I do know she has a spyglass. So I think from afar, since they are still kind of far away, and since they are facing the other direction, I do want her to see kind of what these two are up to. Are they like really focused and concentrated on patrol? Does it look like that they're kind of taking a break and kind of, I don't know, being a little lazy right now? So with her spyglass, what does she see? So I think what I'm gonna do here is, with her spyglass, so she's gonna tell the group, hold on, let's wait before we make any move. And she takes out her spyglass, and I would say that she's kind of bent down. Maybe she's on one knee, kind of crouched. They all are, I'm assuming. She takes out her spyglass and she looks into the spyglass, and let's see what she sees. So I think right now we would want to roll on, maybe, I would say, character actions. Yeah, so we will see kind of what these bandits are up to, and we will roll on the character actions general table here. Okay, so we got over here a 70, 75. Okay, so okay, well, for 75 we have here peace. And you know, peace, what that looks to me is they are probably taking a chill break as they are scouting. They're probably kind of sitting back, maybe leaning on a rock or something, just chit-chatting, and not really taking their patrol jobs seriously at the moment. So I would say they're probably just chilling here. Okay, so I would imagine that she reports that back to the group. It looks like they are just sitting on a couple of rocks chilling, and they're not really patrolling the area. So that means that we have an advantage to make our move here, since they are not paying attention to their surroundings, clearly. As they are sitting on a couple of rocks here, just chit-chatting, I would imagine that Morgwyn would want to tell her sister, Celine here, I think she would want to tell her sister here to distract, or not distract, I think she would want to tell her to to sneak up on this guy, and Celine over here will sneak up on this other guy. All right, and let's see, are there, I'm trying to see if there is, I wonder if there's like rope. I feel like they wouldn't have rope, because I know Graf over here, he got robbed by the bandits, so he doesn't really have much. But I wonder if Celine would have rope. I'm not really sure. So let's just ask the fate chart. If she has rope here, that would be enough to kind of tie the two bandits together here. Okay, so what do we got? I was thinking 50-50, so, oh, look at that, 34. Perfect. So she does have rope, so that is perfect. Okay. So, okay, well, I guess this is it. So I think so Morgan over here is going to tell Celine to grab her rope and give that to Graf over here. So Graf will be helping with tying the bandits together, while these two are kind of holding down the two bandits here. Okay, and with that, I wonder if there is a I kind of want to ask if Graf would have some sort of some sort of sack, like two sacks or something, like a cloth sack. I know Morgwin would have a sack because she is holding some rations here, and so she could probably eat those rations, and she will empty out that bag and get ready to kind of put that bag over their heads to try to quiet them down if they do end up trying to scream. So she has one bag. I wonder if any of these two would have a bag as well. So let's see, does Celine have like a bag of some sort that she could put over the bandit's head there? So, oh, okay, yes. So we got, this was a 44, so that is a yes. Okay, so great. So they have two bags that they can use to cover their heads and their mouth to prevent them from screaming. So that is perfect. And we did roll a 44, so that means a random event will be happening here. So I'm just going to write down really quick that there is one rope that's big enough to hold the two of them, and then two bags to cover their faces here. So perfect. So now for the random event, we are going to roll here. Okay, so we got over here a 20, what is that, 26? So 26, an NPC action. So meaning that NPC is going to do something. We are going to roll now on the character actions. So NPC, so one of these two. So will the NPC, will it be Celine maybe? Let's see, 50-50. 26, so yes. Okay, so Celine's going to do something here. And what would that be? So 84 here, slow. Ooh, I wonder if that means that she wouldn't be able to kind of get to this guy as fast as she could. Okay, so that would mean Celine will probably be slow a little bit. Uh-oh, so that must mean, yeah, so I'm assuming maybe this guy might be a little more on guard than him. So now we are going to play out the scene here. So we have Morgwin telling the party here to get ready the two bags to cover both their heads and the big long rope that's big enough to kind of tie both of the bandits together. So Morgan will first lead with Celine over here. So as the two are slowly making their way closer and closer to the bandits, they will take an action to grab their weapons. So Celine over here would have, let's give her a sword as well. Or maybe, actually, maybe a dagger. So we'll see. Let's ask really quick the fate chart if Celine has a dagger. 66? Okay, so no. So I am going to interpret that as she has a sword instead. And looks like another random event happens here. We got 0. I'm actually going to say a 0 would just mean that there is no random event. Because, yeah, we're not going to make it too complicated here. So, okay, so they both take out their swords. And they are ready to make their move and grab onto these bandits. So they're both going to take each of the bandits like arms and hold them back, and then put a bag over their heads here. And I'm just going to have Morgan roll for the both of them here. I do want to see if they're able to. I want to see if she is able to do that fast enough. So we're going to do a dex check here. So hopefully it's under 12. Ooh, that was a complete fail for the first roll. So that was a 20. And then a 4. Okay, great. So she is at advantage. So we are keeping the 4 here. Okay. So with success, they are able to, well, at least Morgwin was able to get the bag over the heads of the bandits here, and same with Celine. But Celine is a bit slow, so that is going to be the random event here. I'd imagine that Celine over here, this bandit was a little more attentive to his kind of surroundings here, and the bag actually didn't get all the way over his head, and he was able to scream. And so he screamed, and I do want to see if that actually brings any attention to other bandits kind of nearby, maybe. So we are going to be doing a check here, or not a check. We're going to ask the fate chart if that bandit scream brought any attention to anyone else. So, ooh, yes, that is a definite yes. O2. Okay. So, oh man, okay. So there's bandit 1, and then that was a success. And then now bandit 2, so his scream actually brought attention and called for other bandits here. Okay, called for others. So Celine unfortunately wasn't as swift and quick as Morgan was hoping. And so Graf over here is getting ready, and he is tying both of their bodies like against each other using the rope. And Morgan's trying to like think fast, because I know that scream was very loud, and so he is probably bringing a lot of attention to the group. So Morgan over here, she's probably going to punch his guts to try to get him to shut up here. So she's going to punch both of them here, and she punches both of their guts, and that quiets them down. And I do know she for sure is probably stressing out with Celine and saying, "What were you thinking? Like, why weren't you fast enough?" She's probably saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize how fast he was going to be." And so now Morgan's probably going to say, "Okay, well, we can't go back into the tunnels. We're going to have to go into the woods here and hide." And so I think that is kind of what Morgan is going to do, because she definitely doesn't want to bring too much attention to the school right now. And so I think she is just going to hide in one of these foresty areas. I think she would rather want to go here since it's closer to the school. So she sees the road up ahead, and she says, "Come on, let's go. Let's just hide in the woods." So they are hiding right now in this area in the woods. And then now with the 2 bandits, they are tied up, and kind of beat up pretty badly, but at least they are staying quiet here. And they do have bags over their head, so they don't really know where they are at the moment. And then now, I feel like at this point now, I know Morgan would probably want to talk to them and kind of ask them if they know anything about kind of Kevin and the Wildborn chapel. So she's definitely going to try to make them talk. And the other thing that she needs to be aware of is that since that scream called for other bandits, they also have to be fast with getting enough information before other bandits start looking for these two. So with I'm gonna do a will check here. So she's going to ask them if they know anything about kind of Kevin and the Wildborn chapel here, and anything about the mayor, because she wants the mayor to surrender. So I think she's just looking for kind of weaknesses of the mayor here. So I do want to see kind of what they know. So she's going to ask them, what do you know about the Thornmere mayor? So let's see. Okay, so that was 17. Okay, so that was a fail, unfortunately. And so they don't know much. Since these are just scouts, they actually don't know too much about the mayor. And all they really do is they just do their job. All they really do is just patrol the area. And so they are most likely, very likely actually, that they are telling the truth, that they don't know too much about kind of Thornmere and the mayor. I think Morgan is just worried about wasting time. So I think her and Celine are actually going to get rid of these bandits here, and with a swift movement of both of their swords, they are now dead. So now both of these bandits are dead, and Celine is saying, okay, well, what do we do next? They need to move fast. And so Morgan here is going to say, okay, let's go to the Arcane school, and we need to ask for help from them. So they are now heading to the Arcane school here. And now, if you guys remember from, let's see, Turning Point, like, what was that, 2 maybe? Maybe Turning Point 2. Yeah, so this is where they meet Micah, who is a wizard in training here. So actually, I'm going to make a note here that they head to the school. Okay, so I'm going to ask the fate chart. I'm going to ask the fate chart really quick of if Micah was able to enroll in the school. I also know that she was trying to steal some books too from the library, and at the same time she was going to turn Morgan in here. So I do kind of want to see if Micah is kind of present at the school here. So let's see. We're going to say it's 50-50. And oh, okay, cool. So we have here, I rolled a 53. So that means that Micah's probably not enrolled in the school, but she is probably within the vicinity there. So she's not enrolled in the school, but Micah is at least present in the area. So I'm wondering if Micah's probably most likely trying to break into that library again. So we are actually going to roll for the next kind of turning point here. So they haven't seen Micah yet, but Micah is presently trying to steal books from the library. Okay, so now we are in Turning Point 11 here, and we are actually going to roll for the theme. So let's see what we get. Let's see here. So we got an 8, and that is a mystery. Okay, so we have, this is a development, and this is mystery. Okay, so now, what do we have here? So this is a mystery, and we are gonna roll. Okay, so we got here 89. So 89 for mystery. So let's see. Okay, vulnerability exploited. This turning point involves vulnerability of some kind of being exploited by a character. For instance, someone knowing of another's crime and blackmailing them. Characters learning of a starbase's secret vulnerability that allows it to be destroyed, etc. This turning point can either involve learning about the vulnerability or actively exploiting it. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so this one is vulnerability exploited. Okay, so they're definitely going to be learning more about, I am interpreting this as possibly the mayor here. It could be the mayor, it could be Kevin. So, or it can even be about the school. So it can either be about the school, it could be about Kevin, or the mayor for this turning point here. So vulnerability exploited. So meaning there is going to be some information that's going to be useful for learning about either the school, Kevin, or the mayor. So I'm actually thinking we are going to roll a 1d6. So 1 to 2 would be a school, a 2 to a 3 will be Kevin, and then a 4, oh whoops, 1 to a 2 would be a school, and then a 3 to a 4 would be Kevin, and then 5 to a 6. Okay, I was like, why is my math not making sense here? Okay, so we will see who it is. Okay, number 2, it is the school. So something about the school here. So something about the school and how it would be tied to something like vulnerable about themselves. So, you know what? I wonder if this school is actually, I wonder if they are somehow tied with Kevin, because upon looking at the school, the vines are intertwined all over the buildings, and they very much, like the Wildborn Chapel, they embrace kind of Kevin's just natural beauty with the vines and his Evervale Hollow, like forests and woods. And so I'm actually wondering if somehow, I would imagine that the school would kind of know a little bit about Kevin too. So I think actually the school and Kevin are actually intertwined in a way. Like maybe they know some maybe natural and maybe creation kind of focused, something relating to earth, that type of magic, that type of arcane. And so I think now actually I'm very curious. I would like to roll on kind of the, what table am I thinking of? I'm almost thinking maybe motivations. Yeah. Or a character identity. Let's do character identity. I'm actually very curious about this school. So this school is very closely intertwined too with Kevin in his kind of natural beauty here, or natural abilities here, of arcane magic kind of relating to earth creation. And so we are going to roll on the character identity here. So we got what is that? 69. Cool. So 69 official. Oh wait, Nope, I'm looking at the wrong one. That is motivations. Persecutor for identity. Okay, interesting. Persecutor. So I'm gonna write here how I'm actually interpreting persecutor with the school and kind of who they are. I'm actually interpreting kind of this word as maybe they are very much against kind of the town of Thornmere here. And so I think what I'm going to do is I think this school also hates Thornmere. So they are going to be actually kind of for what Kevin is doing here. And so, yeah, so I think right now a few things are happening here. So Morgan would want to try to maybe talk to the dean of the Arcane school to try to convince them that Kevin needs to be stopped, and maybe the school can actually help him kind of chill out for a little bit, and then they can also act as kind of a mediator between him and the mayor here. So maybe they can also chat with the mayor to also calm down as well and kind of just diffuse the situation altogether. So I think that's how I'm actually going to proceed with this. So the school, first off, is, let's see, because Micah is also probably in the middle of trying to steal some books from the library here. So knowing that Morgwin, she probably needs access to kind of chat with the dean here. I actually have this idea. Okay, we're gonna do this. So I am going to ask the fate chart, so it'll be 50-50 that the dean is, I guess, accessible right now for her to chat with. So I'm going to say 50-50, is the dean available right now? 29. Okay, yes. So that means the dean is available. And let's see, is the dean willing to talk with Morgwin right now? Oh, okay. So we did get a 51. So I'll say the dean is available, but she definitely doesn't want to chat with Morgwin at the moment. So I think because of that, they need to figure out a different plan here. So this is how I'm thinking of the scene. So as Morgwin enters into the office here, so the main building, the front kind of clerk, I guess, is saying that the dean is not available right now. And this dean, I'm assuming, would be kind of busy kind of figuring out what's going on between Kevin and Thornmere. And so the dean is not available. So the clerk is telling Morgwin that they should come at a different time when the dean is not so busy. So the school seems like it's just kind of running on its regular schedule at the moment. And now with Morgwin and Graf and Celine, so they need to come up with a plan. And so I think what they want to do is they'll probably go to the library and see if they can come up with a different idea, a different plan, maybe get some of the students together and see if they could just chat with them to convince them that Kevin and the mayor, they both just need to stop. So, because that's where a lot of the students are studying. And I do want to see if Micah is present at the library right now. So we'll say a 50-50. Okay, yep, so we got a 40. So for sure, Micah right now is in the library. I actually have this idea. So I wonder if she could actually kidnap Micah. Because Micah there's a history of Micah stealing books from the library, this wizard in training. And so I wonder if she catches Micah, she would be able to present that to the dean here, So I think that's kind of what her and the party are going to be discussing right now. Is they have this plan, so the dean won't talk to them because the dean is very busy. So Morgan has this idea that we need to kidnap someone to kind of bring the dean's attention to Morgan, because obviously this is very important. So Morgan explains to them that Micah, this wizard in training, is known for stealing books from the library. And so she's going to create a plan with them to see if they can kidnap, and this will represent Micah here. So this mini's Micah. If they can kidnap Micah in order to get the dean to pay attention that they need help. So I think if they are able to kidnap Micah and present to the dean that, hey, we fixed your problem here. Here's Micah, who's been stealing books from you guys for forever. That'll get the dean to pay attention to them and see what they can do to get the dean to help stop what's going on in Thornmere. So that is kind of the end of the scene right now, and I think that's kind of where I want to stop. So just to kind of give an overview of what happened in today's session. So we had the party of adventurers here, and they just made it out of the tunnel, and they're able to they were able to perform a little sneak attack and grab these two bandits. But unfortunately, this bandit screamed, which caused some other bandits to hear what was going on. So they had to move quickly, and they ran into the forest here, and they tied up these bandits. They put bags over their heads. And unfortunately, these bandits had no idea kind of what's going on in Thornmere. They didn't really know what's going on with the mayor. They are just scouts. Like, that's really just their job. They just patrol the area, and that is it. So they couldn't give Morgan any information, but before other bandits would be able to kind of come find the party of adventurers, Morgan thought fast and decided to just get rid of the bandits. So the two bandits are now dead, and Morgan and the party eventually go to the library here. And so they were thinking, we need to talk to the dean. So the dean would be able to kind of help them diffuse the situation going on in Thornmere. But unfortunately, the dean was not readily available. She won't chat with Morgan at the moment. So they decided to go to the Arcane library to kind of see if maybe they could chat with like students and see if they could convince some students to like help them kind of simmer the situation in Thornmere. But instead of running into students, she does see Micah. Micah is a wizard in training who is kind of on the crazy side, and she is known for stealing books at the Arcane library. So they have come up with a plan to actually kidnap Micah and present Micah as a kind of presenting to the dean, hey, I did a good service here for you. Here you go. This is what I need back from you. So she's hoping to kind of present it back like that. So we will see next time how they will kidnap poor Micah over here to bring the dean's attention back to Morgwyn. So that is where we are going to be leaving this adventure for now. So that is where we're going to stop. All right, well, that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me for this was part 12. Yeah, so this was part 12 of A Vinekin's Revenge. So we will continue this next time, and I will also write up a little narrative of kind of what the scene is like and what happened in today's session. So thank you so much, adventurers, for joining me. Till next time.